this is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and today we're going to look at Microsoft Surface Pro 3. I know you guys have been eager for this, so we're going to have a hands-on first look. We will have a full in-depth review. That'll be coming later, but Microsoft couldn't get us a review unit before time, so we had to go to them to get some hands-on time, and we're going to look at it now. So this is Microsoft Surface Pro 3, a little bit bigger than Surface Pro 2, a different pen technology inside. It's got the red type cover here, the latest generation type cover. Slightly different design, we'll show you that. Really a very attractive looking tablet. As you can see, there's the included pen right there. Two buttons there, a button on the end cap as well that can launch OneNote. Sorry, it doesn't function as an eraser. Works obviously for poking at things on screen, or you could use your finger too. So let's talk specs first. This is the Core i5 model, 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gig SSD. That's a $999 model, equipped pretty much the same as Surface Pro 2 at that same price. There will be a Core i3 model with 64 gigs of storage. That's kind of tight, but that's going to save you just a little bit of money, $899. And there will be Core i7 models. You can also get this with 8 gigs of RAM, a 256 gig SSD, or a 512 gig SSD. The Core i5 models will be available on June 20th, but you're going to have to wait until August 31st, 2014 if you want the Core i3 or the Core i7 model. So keep that in mind if you want to play it low or play it high in terms of specifications. The tablet is surprisingly light at 1.76 pounds. It's just a little bit heavier than the Samsung Galaxy Note Pro 12.2. It's also very thin, just a little over 1/3 of an inch. Honestly, the first thing that struck me when I picked it up is if somebody didn't tell you which was which, you might actually mistake this for Surface Pro 2. It really doesn't feel significantly larger or heavier or awkward by any stretch of the imagination. It's a good achievement there. Microsoft has done some nice things with the hardware, not just in terms of how attractive it looks, but how balanced it is in the hand and how not particularly heavy it feels. But for those of you who found 10.6 inches for the display size on the Surface Pro 2 too constricted, the 12-inch display might just be enough. You're talking almost as big as Lenovo ThinkPad Yoga and Dell XPS 12, both of which have 12.5-inch displays, but this does feel a lot more compact. Of course, it doesn't have a built-in normal keyboard like those competitors there. You have this type cover here instead. And by the way, the type cover is going to set you back another $130. It is not included with the unit. So you're really looking, if you want the Core i5, 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gig SSD unit, you're looking at spending around, well, $1,130. So still not cheap, but still very nice technology. Now the keyboard has okay travel considering how skinny it is. It's not so different from the type cover 2 that we saw for the Surface Pro 2. It is usable. It's also a little bit bigger, obviously, because you have a bigger machine. And taking a look at the side, one of the big improvements here is the infinitely adjustable kickstand. And look at that nice magnesium alloy body there. It's very attractive looking product, certainly, and that's a 5-megapixel camera on the back, 5-megapixel on the front. Now notice how I'm moving this hinge, and you can move it to any of those positions smoothly, and it's pretty darn stiff, so it's not going to fall over. Really well designed. Side view, you can see the ventilation all around the edges there. And there's our charging connector, lit as always, and that's where the keyboard connects magnetically to the device. And they're picking up again from the little grab open spot. Really well done. Just very nice feeling there for that kind of kickstand. Don't you wish everything had a built-in kickstand? Especially now that you have, well, all the infinite positions. In fact, you can lay it really far, flat, and back, which I'm going to do when I demonstrate using the pen, because then you just want a little bit of tilt to the display, have it almost flat on the desk for writing or drawing. You can see on the side there, we still have only one USB port, USB 3.0. And there is still a mini display port as well for higher than full HD resolution output. The cover has a kind of suede-y surface. It's nice enough looking. It's protective enough so you can throw this in your bag again. This isn't any different from Surface Pro 2 in terms of that functionality. And the display, really lovely, better than full HD display. 2160 by 1440 resolution, nice, sharp, and colorful. To my eye, the color gamut definitely looks improved from Surface Pro 2, which just had okay color gamut. It didn't compete with the best, like the Sony Vaio Flip, which has almost 100% sRGB coverage. This one looks much more promising, but really sharp, excellent contrast. Good job for Microsoft here. But let's look at this pen because I know that's important to a lot of you. First, we're going to check out OneNote right here. And this is an N-Trig pen. This is not a brand new technology, folks. This is the same thing that was used in the Sony Vaio Flip series, for example. We've reviewed those. You know what they're about. And you can see I'm writing on the screen here, and it does have palm rejection. Sorry about the focus there. You can write quickly. It's very responsive. You do have to get a little closer with the pen tip to make sure that you have palm rejection. You can see pressure sensitivity here. Any application that uses the Windows Ink APIs, you will get pressure sensitivity. Now, there are still some applications, you know which ones I'm talking about, that only support Wacom digitizers and the WinTab API. Photoshop, by the time this product is released on June 20th, should have an update to Photoshop available for Photoshop CS6 and later that will support pressure sensitivity with N-Trig as well. That's real important. Now we're switching over to FreshPaint, which Microsoft makes as a drawing program. And I noticed that the pressure sensitivity, the curves were all off. And I noticed this happened with the Sony Vaio Flip when it first came out, and Microsoft did indeed fix it. So you have to press really hard here. It's pretty odd. Now, as a drawing tool, it's really going to depend on which drawing programs you use. If you use Corel Painter, for example, they still only support Wacom and WinTab. In terms of horsepower, this is like any Ultrabook with a Core i series CPU. Full Windows 8.1 Pro, Microsoft makes the OS, so they can throw in the Pro version. Dual band Wi-Fi 802.11ac, Bluetooth 4.0. So how about portrait use mode? Excuse the kind of sideways video here, but we're trying to put it in portrait mode. You could use the stand, as you can see, to stand it up in portrait mode. It'd be pretty upright if you do that. The ergonomics are like a legal pad, so it is less annoyingly oblong if you're going to use it in portrait mode. And there's the new magnetic attachment for the keyboard. It actually wraps around a bit more on the surface. And there's the side version of it. You can see it's not an island-style keyboard, obviously. That's what the on-screen keyboard looks like in portrait mode. Still plenty of room, still very usable, and we're going to load our website to see how that actually looks if you're going to look at a website in portrait mode. Notice the colors and the sharpness there on the Bing screen. It's really a very, very pleasing and impressive display. Nice and sharp, too. And there we've got our website loaded, so there you get an idea of what portrait layout's like if you're viewing web pages. It can make sense depending on how the web page is laid out. Obviously, if you're working with a Word document or a PDF, this would be the orientation you want. And here it is on the left, Surface Pro 3, on the right, Surface Pro 2, sitting in its docking station. You can see that the difference in size isn't that huge. Surface Pro 3 is taller. It's also sitting a little bit more upright, so it looks taller as well. So that's our Microsoft Surface Pro 3 hands-on first look. Yes, remember, we will have a full in-depth review. We'll cover the pen size comparisons, look at it versus the ThinkPad Yoga and other tablets. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, so like I said, stay tuned for our in-depth review of Surface Pro 3, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.